Hi, hello guys. I wanted to share with you my experience with the interview for the green card / permanent residency that you get when you married a US citizen. That was prepared by a lawyer. She explained to us everything that was going to happen during the interview, which relieved me. I'm going to share with you everything that happened during the interview and everything that I talked about with my lawyer. I'm going to divide this topic in 3 parts: the documents that we brought, the questions that might be asked, and the interview itself, like how did things actually happen in reality with my husband during the interview, with the interviewer and the lawyer. Let's get to it. Okay, now let's talk about the questions that might be asked during the interview. Our very nice lady lawyer, she gives us a list of sample questions. Here it is. That question that might be asked during the interview. So it's a list. It's pretty long, so I'm not going to go through all of it during this video, but I'm going to copy all of those questions on USCIS.com. I'm going to put the link below in the description box, so you should check it out and get prepared. There are basically 2 types of questions. First type of questions is related to your marriage, it's related to each other and how well you know each other, just to establish that you are a real couple and that you share life together. And the second type of questions is what they call the green card questions, that is related to all the information that you gave in your file and you submitted to USCIS. So the file that they're going to have between their hand that you submitted, they're going to ask you to confirm some information on it or just to question you on some things that you wrote and that you submitted. So I'm going to talk about the first type of questions, the questions related to your marriage. Basically, it's going to be questions about each other, establishing your habits and like how well you know each other, like where did you meet? Describe this first meeting. Does your spouse drink coffee? Tea? What's your husband's favorite food? Which side of the bed do you sleep? Where does he work? What is his number? Any questions related to the habits of your spouse, those are questions that might be asked. Then they're going to ask you questions about the wedding. So, where did you get married? Did you have a ceremony after the wedding? Who was there? Your family was there? Did you have any witness? Who? What did you do after the reception? Describe it. Any questions related to the wedding can be asked. Then they can ask you questions about you sharing the space. So maybe about your apartment, like did you live in a house or an apartment? How is the apartment? What kind of floor is in the apartment? How many windows? What color is the bathroom? Any questions related to the space you are living in, they can ask you questions about that. And they can ask you questions about you sharing a life together. So who cook at home? Who throw the garbage out? Do you go grocery shopping together or separate? Where do you go to get your groceries? Any question related to that. Most of the questions are going to be intuitive. So it's just going to be probably regarding to the information that you gave to them, like maybe in the album, like if they're looking in the album, ask you if they see a picture, they will ask you where was that, anything like this. So you should be fine if you are a real couple. I was really stressed before of the interview because I actually have a very bad memory. So I was wondering, yes, but if I forgot that, it might seem suspicious when it's actually not suspicious because it's just because I have a bad memory. That's it. But everything was fine. Like usually you know your husband, and don't lie. If you don't remember something, just say you don't remember. do not lie, because it can be really bad for you. So the second type of questions that might be asked are going to be related to the information that you give to USCIS in your file. So everything that you wrote in your file and that you submitted to USCIS, they might ask you to just confirm. Like maybe they can ask you to confirm your name, where you were born in, what's your birthday date, what's your husband name, can you spell his name, or what is his mother's name, what is her father's name, where was he born. Any questions related to things that you put into that file. And they are going to ask you to confirm a list of questions that is asked in your file, like have you been part of a terrorist organization, have you been arrested for murder, did you kidnap anyone, were you part of a communist party. Any of those questions that they already asked you in your file, they are actually going to go through it point by point and ask you to confirm it. Is the time for you to say no or to say yes, but they are going to go through it. That's it. So that's pretty much it for the questions for the interview. So go check out the hccis.com, the link that I'm going to put in the description box, to see the questions that might be asked. But just remember, if I have to summarize, it's going to be only intuitive questions, like just regarding of things that you may say, or document that you submitted, or pictures that they have in front of them. And just don't lie, like it's going to be fine. You're a real couple, so everything's gonna be fine. Okay? And so now let's talk about the interview itself. So how did it go? We arrived at the building. Our appointment was at 7:30. We arrived like I think 20 minutes before. In the notice it says that